Hello and welcome to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. Yes, these are the maps as voted by you at the end of What Map. I've taken percentage ratings of all of the maps reviewed and we've got the very best of the very best of the very best. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you aren't following the series now, you are going to be missing a treat. There isn't a single bad map amongst all of these. This is the top 100 out of over 50,000 maps on the workshop. You're looking at the elite maps. This one, personally, I don't think is the creator's best work, but it's the creator's only map in the top 100. So you guys think it is. My opinions don't matter, especially on this map, for reasons we'll get to in a moment. And so, at number 88 on the greatest maps of all time, we have St. Catherine's Point by BonBonB. Hey, that's me. Originally reviewed back in What's Map 499, released in November of 2018. Now, I didn't give this any star ratings at the end. I asked you to give it ratings in the comments, and then I took the average of all of those ratings. And according to your ratings, this map gets 5 stars for aesthetics, 5 stars for detail, and 4 for gameplay potential. I disagree. I would like 5, 5 and 5, clearly, but I disagree. I don't genuinely believe this is a 5-star for aesthetics, but listen, it's down to you. And the more important thing is the approval rating of 86%. It's not in the top 50, far from it in the top 50, which it should be with a 5 and a 5 and a 4, but anyway, that's by the by. So, at the current time of recording, it has 2,160 subscribers. 226 of those have favorited it. It has a 4-star rating on Steam, of which 201 people have rated it on Steam. So there we are. Now, there are about 38 things to subscribe to on the map. 8 of them put together the theme mix. Now, those 8 things are Springwood, the Woodland 4K, the Euro 4K, the Cedar Valley 4K. Along with that, we have the Not-So-Rocky European, the Boulder City, and the Caledonian themes, and the Definitive Vision LUT. So on top of that are about another 30 items, one of which is showing up as not available. I should really update the map, but after all these years, I don't think I will. That would fix the one unavailable item. But I'll show you that when we get down there. I don't think it really affects the map at all, to be honest with you. But it just adds a little bit of extra taste with that single item. We use network extensions 2 on this map, along with it's calibrated for the Tides mod. Now, if you've got the Tides mod and you're looking for a good map to run the Tides mod on, this map was designed to be used with the Tides mod, very much so. You get a lot of revealed sandbanks, etc. around here, especially in this area here. This peninsula becomes completely dry when at low tide. It's completely waterlogged during high tide. But during low tide. Opposites are things. It's calibrated for the 25 tiles, i.e. mostly this is your main buildable island. If you play the 81 tile mod, I popped in this second island here just to add a little bit of extra buildable space, add a little bit of interest there as well. We've got a few little feature areas on the map as well, I think you will appreciate. Some of them I'm quite proud of, even to this day. But I think overall, if I was to rebuild this map, I would definitely have some things I would make a little bit differently. But all told, I still think it's a good map. I just don't think it's my best map. I think my best map is Bonbon Island, but that's a different thing altogether. Right, okay, down to a ground level. And it's very pleasing at ground level, I'm going to be honest with you. The top-down view maybe is lacking by 2023 standards. And then again, this map was 2019, remember that one. And this intersection here, this first one, I actually really like this one. Again, not calibrated with the lane merges there exactly by today's standards. But it's just a simple little loop back to allow you, because the thing is, there aren't many places for harbours. You've got a spot here if you really want, as we've got some quarries, little lowland which is that quarry areas there. You could have your quarry just being exported from this point here. That would work well. We do have like a harbour spot over here, but that's basically maybe one up at the top end there. There aren't too many spots for harbours, which is why I popped in this little dead end here, right at the edge of the map for those of you that have the 81 tile mod and want to be building that close to the edge of the map, because you could. Next up, we have a little intersection down here. I remember this map very, very well. I spent a lot of time building it. A lot of time building it. This little intersection here, which is a little bit quirky in its form. I made it deliberately quirky. I just wanted to mix things up a little bit. I didn't want everything being just fairly boring and staid. What you have here is a little road which clearly has become overgrown, disused, and leads down to that area down there, which, like I say, at low tide, if you're running the tides mod, becomes completely dry. And it's that area there that's missing that one item I mentioned at the top of the show. Then we follow along. This mainland, I'm feeling there's definitely room for lots of buildable areas down here. We've got a good beachfront looking out over to the main island over there, so a really good beachfront. You could do something along here quite nicely. I was thinking of building on this map and doing sort of like things like caravan parks and things like that along here. It makes sense to me. I'm also interested to see whether we get any glitching of the bridge as we go over. After building the bridge, I found as I did the flyover, it popped in and popped out. Yeah, there was some glitching. It happens. There we go. Like that. Like that. So it's clearly something's a bit dodgy in the map build. Depending on what angle you're looking at the bridge from, you can get a little bit of pop in and pop out. I don't know what more I could have done short of demolishing the bridge and moving it a few inches to one side, which was the suggestion. Big old river mouth with good strong river flow coming out of it. That keeps the water flowing at low tide, so that you always have a good water flow going on. Then this area here, which I feel, if I was to build on this map properly, I was thinking of doing sort of like a downtown in this area around this intersection, having it just like big, tall buildings, and then having it just like lead out and having like a smaller build. I did start doing a build over on St. Catherine's Point, but yeah, it just didn't get the views. You guys don't appreciate my city builds. What are you talking about, eh? You don't know what you're talking about. Is what you say about me all the time. Anyway, yeah, very nice slick intersection. I haven't seen this one for a few years, and actually, I'm gonna say it. Can I say it? I'm quite proud of this. I'm really very pleased with that. That's very, very nice work, BonBon. I like it a lot. This intersection, by the way, is the collector for the 3 outside connections, 1, 2, and the one we've just come from. All comes down to here, gets fed onto a single road, which takes you across the causeway, etc., over to the mainland. We do a little bit of island hopping across to the mainland. So first of all, we have this little causeway there. And then we have the slightly elevated bridge type affair here. Now you will, if you decide you want to play the map, you will get these buildings. It will show us because again, it's an older map. They will show us being flooded. They'll be fine, but they'll show us being flooded and they'll complain about crime and stuff like that. But it looks pretty, and that's the important thing, in my opinion. Then, as you head down onto the middle island, you have the welcoming floral plaque there. The St. Catherine's Point crest is what we have there in my design there. There is no such thing as the St. Catherine's Point crest, but we have that. As you're driving in, you've met by that beautiful thing. You can think of this almost like an independent nation, I feel. If that is that may be the flag of St. Catherine's Point. Hey ho. Then we just got some nice little plopped custom bridges just to help us across onto the second island. Second island, which isn't really buildable. There's some space in there if you wanted to do something, but it's not the flattest of islands. And then across to our next custom bridge, again, very neat there. Now, none of these bridges have shipping routes going through them, so if you're worried about shipping clipping, don't be. The ships go around the outside. If you think of this area here at low tide is virtually sandbanks, your ships would go the long way around, and that's how I have the shipping set up and calibrated on the map. Okay, now you're down onto the main island. It's mostly just you're talking about buildable space around here. You're talking about how do you want to set up your city. I know there's a few people that absolutely loathe this intersection. Again, I just wanted to be creative and do something a little bit different. If you don't like this, then bulldoze it and build whatever you like. But yeah, the idea was for traffic coming from over here to be able to loop into the harbour area and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's not the prettiest. I don't pretend it's the prettiest, but it works. And then that leads you down into what would be the main town area, where I've got the lifting bridge in. Again, you don't need this. You don't need this. I just felt it just added a little bit of interest to the map, where maybe the map might have been a little bit disinteresting to some. But anyway, yeah, little lifting bridge, and maybe you could do sort of like your main docks here, and then your trucks and stuff heading out there. And then we've got a little pleasure harbour going on there as well. Very sweet. And then we've got beaches leading us around to St. Catherine's Point, where we have the we'll have a custom asset. If you don't want the custom asset, then you just won't have this magnificent thing on the top there. I just felt it, again, added a little bit of interest and definition to the map where maybe you wouldn't have done before. We've got defensive walls only where you would need defensive walls, because it's just like a rocky outcrop. So that's why there aren't walls all the way around, just in the defensive areas there. Head over here. There is a little chiseled out quarry area for those of you that want that, right by the sea. So something a little bit different. I figured having a quarry area literally facing onto the sea would just be a bit different for some people. So there is that. We have the Half Moon Island over here. We'll start from this end. The Half Moon Island, which at this end is clear, and then we move into farmland areas over this way. We have a little lake on the island as well, which again is just marshy and wetlandy, which is what I was going for. That's the vibe I was going for. And then if we head up this way, you then reach a lowland hill. Lowland hill which hides and masks a little extra treat. I hope it's still here. Not checked over the map since I loaded it up, but there should be over here. There you go. We have a henge, and if I remember this henge correctly, pretty sure I do, that aligns with the east. So if you want to get some really interesting screenshots, the sun will rise and you should get it right there. That's the thought process on that. But yes, a nice little henge there as well. One little extra area over here we haven't looked at, and this is the Bonbon Island. Not Bonbon Island, the map itself, but this is the first area. If you're a map maker and you want to try do something, do your own build, that kind of thing, I'm thinking if you start with a little area like this, just a little island or something like that, just one small area, get that area looking so good that you are so proud of it. Then you've got one area you can look back to and go, do you know what? I finished that. It looks so good. I think I did a good job here. I personally do. But yeah, there's that area there. I built that before I did any work over on the main island, and it just inspired me to keep going because I had one area of the map that was completely done. So yes, got the couple of quarries there. We've got a little lake in the middle of the map over here. We have some more wetland areas over here as well, with good water flow. So if you want to stick your outflow of your sewage down here, you can, and you're going to get good water flow heading out. Let me spin the camera around this way. You get good water flow there. We've just got a couple of drainage areas there. I think that's a nice little area built into the island. Maybe not the most believable, but I like it, so shush now. And then the final little area I haven't shown you is the area that gets flooded at low tide. I haven't got the tides mod on, so you're just going to have to believe me on this one. Then this pathway here becomes the old road as such. It then leads out. This still stays like quite narrow. And what you have here is little island area. You can see how it billows out, and there are a few missing custom burnt out houses here, but you can see how this used to be the old town, which before the sea level rises started climbing, and so this area here has become completely washed out. But yes, we are missing, what's that there? What did I put there? Or burnt out. We've got a car under there as well. But yes, there are a few missing houses under there, but they're just the burnt out shacks. The ones off of my workshop, which have no vanilla trees on, and it just makes this area feel a little more vibrant, a little more believable. So that's the only thing missing from the map. Tree painting on the map, I'm quite happy with. I think it's just about the right amount. There's we have a little bit of flourishments like here. That just basically helps to make the map feel a little bit less crisp lines. And all told, I think the map came together really well indeed. Very pleased with my handiwork on this. How about we go and look at the map from over the shoulder of this here? What a nice aesthetic closing shot. So something like that. So plenty of buildable space on what is an island map. Interesting shapes, good strong detailing. You guys liked it, 86%. I like it. I don't think it's my best work, but listen, it's not my opinion that counts here, it's yours. So there you go, St. Catherine's Point by BonBonB. Hey, that's me. And there'll be another map along tomorrow, which is even better than this one. Can you believe such a thing? Can you believe such a thing? Yes, you can. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing, for joining me on this countdown to the top 100 maps of all time. Thanks to all the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and YouTube membership for supporting the channel. Without you, I may have been gone long ago, so thank you for your ongoing support. I'm really looking forward to Cities Skylines 2 coming along sometime later this year. I've been BonBonB, you've been very, very welcome, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.